Hello crafty friends, today I don't have a process video for you. Today I would like to show you this mini album. I scrapbook pictures from the recent December, and my daughter chose to go to the amusement park in the winter as her birthday gift and a party at once. So it's not only a winter album, but it's also a birthday album, I would say. I made this album base by myself using the fabric in a mint color and a cork sort of fabric for some elements. I rounded the edges of the cover, but I didn't round the edges of the pages. And album closes with a Velcro, but it's not sticking this well. I don't know if I did something bad here, like, I don't know, maybe I should use a different angle, or maybe next time I will just use magnet for this purpose. So this is how the album looks. It's about, let me measure it, 13.5 by 17 centimeters, and it's about 6 centimeters thick. So it holds, I didn't count it how many pictures, but it has five pages, but each page has some flaps, so I could accommodate more pictures. And I was using beautiful Mintopia by Kimidori collection called Celebrate, and it has both winter and Christmas vibe. So you can choose if you would like to use more Christmas elements or more winter, and I mixed them all because it was like a pre-Christmas time. We were there, it was mid-December, everything was beautifully decorated, so it was a Christmas tree, so I felt like I could use everything from the collection. So this is just one picture with Falala puffy stickers, and there is just a Santa for a decoration. And here is the first page, and I would quickly like to tell you how I make my albums if I add pictures there. So I usually make 5 pages, like in this case, and I print my pictures. I divide them in 5 piles, plus some extra pictures on front and back. Sometimes it has flaps, so sometimes I divide it into 6 or 7 piles. And then, after dividing them in piles, usually when it's a travel album, one pile means like one day or one trip. I think of the ways I can accommodate all those pictures on one page. So sometimes it's just a single flap, sometimes it's more flaps. Like in this case, I had 4 pictures, so I decided to put 2 of them here and 2 of them on extra flaps. But you can also make like a 1 flap and add 1 picture here, 1 picture here. It all depends on your creativity. And the first page has extra flaps, but it also have one big pocket for the journaling of the day. It wasn't like a long trip, so I only have this much journaling. And there is an extra picture that I added that it's not necessarily pretty, but it tells a little story. So this is the page number 1, and here is page number 2. And for this one I had only 2 pictures, so I didn't need to create any flaps. And as you can see, the pictures overlap. So in this case it was like a part that I didn't care to be visible. That's why I could overlap this one on top of this. I only wanted my daughter to be visible, so it was important. And it's also a good way to hide elements on your pictures you don't like. Let's say you have like a random person on your picture, maybe a trash can. So overlapping pictures can be also a nice idea if you would like to hide something and you don't have any Photoshop skills to remove anything from the picture before printing it. Another page, and this one has this magnetic closing element, and it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pictures. So I decided I will make a waterfall, and you could easily accommodate twice as much pictures, because there is also a room for the photo if you would like to add them. And I decorated the pictures with something small. So as you can see, there is extra space for under pictures, so you could accommodate 11 pictures here. Another page, and this one also has only 2 pictures, so it didn't require any extra flaps in this case. And in this page I have a closing. It has magnet here like this, so it's like a French Christmas tree, but I didn't think it through that well because it's not holding well in this spot. And it has one bigger flap. Again, I accommodated 6 pictures, similarly to the pictures on the waterfall, but in this case I couldn't make a waterfall because I had one vertical photo. So I needed to be creative with what can I do to accommodate 6 pictures, including one vertical photo. So I knew I needed to do something like this. So I have one picture overlapping another, and there are people here, but they are not my people, so I just cover them a little bit. Here are 2 pictures and 2 more, and this is something that closes this composition and prevents from opening the flap. And it has magnets. I am using magnets like this. They are very, very strong, and I buy them in bulks. So I just use 2 of them, one under each paper, and they close beautifully. And I have, you don't see it, but I have this metal element on my desk, like a metal bucket for my tools, and it just stays there, stick to this bucket. And here's another page, and for this one I had more than 2 pictures, so I needed to make a flaps. And again, those were verticals, so I made vertical flaps. And in this case I also overlap pictures, and again I could kind of make only one flap with 2 pictures on one and 2 pictures on another side. But I kind of prefer symmetry, I would say, because you can imagine this like this, or with this flap. I don't know, I just prefer to have both flaps. And in this page there is only 2 pictures here, but it opens. The magnets are here, so it didn't need anything to keep it from opening. And I had less pictures. I only had 4 of them, so I could accommodate 2 of those in one page, but still I would need to add some sort of flap, and I will have an empty space here. So I just decided to divide them, make one here and one here, and some compositions of elements on top and in the bottom. But I could easily accommodate it in only 2 pages, but again I would need to make something like this, 2 separate flaps, which was like pointless. And this page only has 2 pictures and they overlap, so it's okay, because I just wanted this and this part to be visible. And again, another page with only 2 photos, they overlap and they are vertical. Of course, you can make a bigger album to prevent photos from overlapping, but this size seems like perfect for me because you don't waste too much of the pattern papers. And you need a lot of them to cover all of the pages, yet it still kind of holds all of the pictures, and the pictures are not that small. So it's like a compromise between using up your resources and having pictures big enough. And this one has another flaps, but this time I made them looking like 2 tags meeting in the middle, and I didn't add any oops, I will have a note here, didn't add any magnets, so it's just like this because I have only picture here and here. This is just for decoration and for closing, and 2 extra pictures inside. And here I have 2 extra pictures. Those are the ones that you can buy on roller coaster or attractions that are snapped via the machine. You are riding, so you never know where the pictures will come. And here are me and my daughter and my older daughter and her friend. So this is it. This is how the album looks. And sometimes I just add extra flap here for journaling if I do not decide to add it in the middle of the album, and sometimes I add even more journaling. I made an album with our trip to Greece. I will link it in the description below, so you can compare this album to the bigger album with even more pictures and with memorabilia that I added to it. So this is it. Thank you so much for staying with me, and see you on other video. Bye!